Noah Essengue makes his Summer League debut, and it was admittedly a little bit rough, but we're going to talk about it, the good and the bad in that debut. We're also going to look at Buzelis' play and why there's really no reason to get two up or two down when it comes to Summer League. Plus, we're going to look at the Josh Giddey and Chicago Bulls contract situation, and could it be reaching its climax here soon? We'll talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Darren Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. So, Summer League went down yesterday. The Chicago Bulls took on the Toronto Raptors, in which they lost that game 72-116. It was an ugly game. Not gonna lie to you, it was a very ugly game. And not to, again, we'll talk about Modest and Noah's play and Lachlan's play for that matter. But it was an ugly game, and not just because of those guys, but the guard play was absolutely terrible. It was terrible. I know Javon Freeman-Liberty went out and got his points, 21 points on only taking 6 shots, but he got to the free throw line 13 times. But you realize very early on, these guards weren't good. They weren't trying to set up anything. They weren't really trying to run an offense. Javon Freeman-Liberty was out there trying to score, and like he always does, it's always what he does out there in Summer League. He's trying to, get that NBA contract. Jameer Young, who also started in that backcourt, was absolutely god-awful and terrible. Yuki Kawamura, who a lot of people were excited about. Listen, so many of y'all have left comments like, "Oh, the Bulls, we got Yuki. We don't have to worry about it." Listen, Yuki was trash. Trash, my boy. It was bad. Like, he was 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 5 from three-point range, and them shots wasn't close. Now, he did have some really good passes, right? But he really didn't set up an offense, but he had some solid passes. Only 2 assists on the day, but 4 turnovers. Our guard play was absolutely trash. Wooga Poplar, who I'm really excited to see in Summer League, only played 18 minutes, only got 1 shot up, got to the free throw line 4 times though. But the guard play was really something that just stood out. It was god awful. It was bad. And young players like Noah Essengue, they need that guard out there that's going to set them up. And we haven't really seen that. Not in this one game. Maybe it comes down the road, right? We're not going to look into it too much with one game, but it was a struggle. It was a big struggle there. But of course, everyone's going to be making a lot of the play of Modest Buzelis and Noah Essengue. That's why people were tuned in. That's why people are talking about this team. That's there. It's going to happen. But it was ugly. It was very ugly. I don't even know how to word it, how ugly it was. Like, Noah Essengue offensively wasn't in rhythm. 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range. He had 5 points in this game, 7 turnovers, which weren't good at all. Defensively, he showed a lot of defensively what you want. There were times out there where his length really bothered the Toronto Raptors. That's why he was able to get 3 steals out there. He got a block out there as well, and you got to see some of that when it came down to it. And it is what it is. Both of his buckets came from assists as well. Yuki did make a good outlet pass that led to an Essengue, his bucket in his first transition slam when it came down to that, but he didn't score the rest of the evening. But like I said, the 6'10", the frame was there. He looked bigger out there when it came down to it. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting to a little more like 6'11" when it comes down to it. But, he has to get stronger. The one thing that was there that was evident, the Toronto Raptors were playing a physical style of basketball out there, and Noah Essengue he didn't respond well to it. 194 pounds. The lack of strength is something that definitely stood out for him there. He's gonna have to get stronger, but that's something that we didn't know coming into the league, that he was going to have to get much stronger in the NBA. He finished with a -32 when it came down to it. But like I said, there are some times where his length, the defensive instincts that he has out there, you saw some of that, and that's really what you want to see when it comes down to it. And he admitted after the game saying this: "It won't be an easy journey or he says, I need to be better at everything." And that was Casey Johnson saying it's not going to be an easy journey for Noah Essengue, but with him being as young as what he is, time's going to be on his side. We'll see what Noah can turn into, but it's already started, right? Between Juan Behringer the performance that he had, Derek Queen last night and the performance that he had, it's already started. The sky is falling, Bulls fans. And listen, it's summer league. It's summer league. I can name a number of players that had totally terrible summer leagues that ended up being stars in the NBA. I can tell you some players that had amazing summer leagues that ended up being nothing in the NBA. You look at some stars like LeBron didn't have the best summer league. Trae Young didn't have the best summer league. Coby White didn't have the best summer league. Derrick Rose didn't have the best summer league. Steph Curry didn't have a good summer league, right? So it's players like, don't take too much away from summer league as far as like what these players can be on the NBA level. Of course, look at it for what their skill set is. Look at it for where some of their struggles are for sure, and that's fair. But people having these think pieces already on, oh my God, we got it wrong again. Like, it's just, calm down. It's just summer league, right? And it is what it is when it comes down to that. But Modest Buzelis in the game last night, 17 points, going 4-14 from the field, 7-7 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks in this game, and 4 turnovers. He also had 3 personal fouls. Modest Buzelis didn't take over the game like I was hoping to see. I will admit that, and that was just me. You know, I just want to see Modest take over a game because this is opportunity to show a lot. He was able to do more, kind of facilitating stuff, set up the offense a little bit more time. They let him several times get the ball on a rebound, go immediately on the fast break, not worry about getting the ball back to a guard. And so that was cool to see when it came down to it. But nothing there for Modest that, you know, you hope as a player that, you know, many are hoping is going to take a step up next season. Nothing really there to be like, oh my God, you see Modest is about to take over. And I know people were looking for that, but it was a summer league. Summer league basketball is just really weird. It's so sloppy. It really is. It's just so sloppy. And that's what, because of the level of competition, the not having NBA caliber players at some positions when it comes down to that, it kind of is what it is. Lachlan Obrick, he played 22 minutes, had 2 rebounds, 2 points, 1 steal in the game, 4 turnovers, 5 personal fouls. But I will tell you this, Lachlan looked like a guy that has some legit, like bigger than even what he looked like in his tape. So that was good to see. But we know that Lachlan is probably going to be G League bound. 2-way contract is it's not a high chance he's going to be on the main roster too much, playing in actual NBA games for the Bulls next season. But you know, it is what it is. Overall, the summer league game was rough. It was rough to watch. You know, you lose by that many points. That sucks. Hopefully the Bulls bounce back and play much better today when they take on the Sacramento Kings today at 8 p.m. Again, Eastern time, 7 p.m. Chicago time. So lock in for that one if you guys want to take a look at that one. So let me know what you guys feel on that down below. How'd you feel about the summer league game? Are you one of the skies falling Bulls fans? Are you panicking right now? How worried are you? What's the panic meter? Let me know that down below. With that said, let's go ahead and move on, man. Josh Giddey is in Las Vegas, and that means that he is back stateside. That means that he took that 15-hour plane ride to come back here after going back over in Australia for his basketball camp. And the question now is does that mean a deal is going to get done sooner rather than later? You would hope so. You know, he's back stateside now. Hopefully they can iron out any kinks that are there and get this deal done. The last reporting that we actually heard on it, I believe, was from Casey Johnson, who said that the Bulls and Josh Giddey want to get a deal done. They both want to see a contract, and they want to renew their relationship and keep that going on. So let's just get it done. You know, and I get it. No other big-name restricted free agents have signed yet, so there's that aspect of it. Like I said many times before, the Bulls aren't the only one going through this. I typically give them a little bit of grace when it's like everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's kind of in that holding pattern with their restricted free agents right now. So that is what it is. But hopefully with Josh Giddey being back stateside, AK, we already saw him. He's in summer league. Billy Donovan is in summer league. Wouldn't be surprised if Mark Eversley's somewhere sitting in the corners in the dark spaces as well. Let's get the deal done. And hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. Hopefully sometime over this weekend, I would hope that the deal is going to happen. And you guys know, once it is announced and it goes down, if news drops, I drop. That's just the way that it works here. So if a contract ends up happening, we'll be here to cover it. We'll be here to talk about it. And that's really just all that it comes down to. But those are the 2 things we're watching right now. A lot of trade rumors kind of picking back up. Like I said, that's expected to happen around Summer League. You're going to see a lot of that. You know, we dropped a video last night on, 2 recent rumors to come around with Derek Lively for Coby White. And it was some other things. Jaden Ivey as well coming back in that deal, which the Bulls can't take multiple players back right now. And then the other move was IO for Dalton Connect, something that I'm not high on at all. You can keep that shit, Lakers. So that's just where we come down to. And right now it's just about Summer League. You will get some more deals announced over this time, whether they're Bulls deals or not. And we'll just continue watching and monitoring to the market. But, hopefully that Josh Giddey and the Bulls come to some resolution on this, money years, whatever it ends up being. And then we could just break it down and talk about what the deal ends up being. But let me know what you guys think on all that down below. Let's get into the mailbag. It is Saturday. That means it is mailbag day here. This first one that we have, this one is from Rick.
Hayes, this is Rack from Palos Hills. Enjoy listening to your show all the time. I just wanted to share some thoughts and see if you could comment on them. First and foremost, I think the best chance for the Bulls making a big leap, 5-6 wins to me is a big leap over the usual 40, is to get a rim protector at center. And I've been hoping that we could hear something for Vooch, maybe even Vooch and our first rounder, or Vooch and Coby or Io if we have to trade one of those two. But I just think we need a defensive rim protector. I'm wondering how you're feeling about this, and if you could name a couple of guys other than Stewart that might be out there and fit this category of younger and a decent rim protector. Later.
Rim protector centers are reportedly available, but I don't think that the asking price for them right now is what the Bulls would be willing to pay. For example, like we talked about yesterday, the Coby White for Derek Lively rumor that's out there. Like, that's a big price to pay. And if you give up that amount of scoring, yeah, Derek Lively's defense comes in here, but then like we're at a big deficit offensively unless Modest is ready to take a step, or Io stays around and he takes that step offensively, right? He takes another step offensively. We know what he can do as a two-way player, but takes a nice step offensively, which, maybe with better defense overall, that 16 points that Io did in 2023-24 as a starter, maybe that's what he can bring you then too. So, we'll see. So that, like, Derek Lively's one, Daniel Gafford's one that's out there is also available. But at this point, there's not a lot of traditional rim protecting centers that are left available out there in the market that don't have a really big asking price. And that's why I said the other day, I think the most likely thing right now for the Bulls is that the roster that we have, that's pretty much who we're riding into the season with. And then maybe things change as the season goes on, but does not seem like many things are happening for that. And so, Coby and Io seem like they're staying here for now. And we shall see what happens with that going forward. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from ISO.
Hey, what's up, my boy? It's ISO Noah. Hey, man, I've been watching, practice from the Bulls Summer League. And I ain't gonna lie to you, if we can get Billy Bubblegum Donovan to coach these dudes right, 3, 6, 10 athletic power forwards or whatever you want to call them, hybrids, it might be nice. You know what I'm saying? I remember one point when the Raptors was long and linky. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gave a lot of teams problems, but they just wasn't coached properly. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if we can get Billy to really harness. I know that's hard because Billy don't like to play rookies, you know what I'm saying? But maybe, I don't know, maybe he might, because people don't remember in college when he coached in college, you know what I'm saying? He coached them boys up, So he might just need a fresh start. He really not good at coaching alphas, you know what I'm saying? He good at coaching, people that listen to him. So that's all I want to know. What's your thought on that? You know what I'm saying? All right, T-Red. Keep up the shit, my boy. And when I be in them chats, man, I be needing you to read them chats out. I be saying some good shit.
Versatile forwards are basically the way that the league is going, right? Is that you want those versatile, switchable forwards. You want those switchable players in general. Like, if you're a player that can guard multiple positions and play multiple positions in the NBA, regardless of what that is, the value of that continues to go up, right? And so, I'm not mad at that. I think that is the way. Now, you said 3. I struggle to know who the third. When you said 3, 6'10" guys, you talking about Lachlan is the other guy that I think you'd be talking about, or maybe Jalen Smith at 6'9", even though we know Billy Donovan hasn't used him a lot. But regardless of that, Noah and Modest are what you're hoping your next duo is going to be. You hoping that they're going to develop to that. Now, we're years away from that. I want to be clear there, but getting those guys that can both play and do a little bit of everything at that forward spot, that's kind of where you can find a lot of advantages at for NBA teams. And let's see if the Bulls can get that done. Now, as far as Billy and his coaching and all that, Billy's coaching is an enigma because, for example, he ran in college a double big lineup. Al Horford and Joakim Noah was starting 4 and 5. And so, now he has this thing against running double bigs or even using bigs a lot, like even his reserve bigs. I don't know what that's about. But that's just Billy Donovan's coaching, and his coaching isms are always weird. But hey, we're here. We'll lock in. It is what it is. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Corn.
What's the good word, King Drip? It's your brother Corn, man. Let's get right into it. First of all, my deepest condolences to you and to your family, King. Rest in peace to your grandmother, to the monarch, to your family, the monarch of your family. My deepest condolences, man. Love you, man. Prayers always. Since you share something like this, I'm gonna share something too that's personal, since we are family. My mother just went through open heart surgery Tuesday. I'm here in California with her right now. She made it out by the grace of God. They talked to Claude before, she could get a heart attack and all that. She just came for a normal checkup, and then boom, X-ray, MRI, and they found that now she had to go in for emergency heart surgery. And now she got 2 stents in her heart. So to everybody, all Bulls fans, Bulls Nation, everybody, just hug your loved ones, kiss your loved ones, because you never really know, But let's get into this at hand. Noah, Essengue, and Modest Buzelis. All right, let me get myself back together. I'm almost about to tear up here, y'all, Let me get myself back together. I'm going to say something crazy. I believe Noah Essengue and Modest Buzelis have the potential. I'm going to say something crazy after I said something, saying nice. I'm going to go back like, oh, shit, Corn, here we go. I believe they had the potential, because you want to talk about duos, to be the next Jordan and Pippen. Potentially. Now, stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Don't go crazy. Don't throw it. All right. Don't do it. I say potentially because of styles and how they are drafted and how one is more defensive player and how more is an offensive player. The mindset of Modest Buzelis. Even how Essengue, he kind of looked like Scotty, the nose and shit, right? So, I wish I could say more, but I say they got the potential. Because remember, Jordan got drafted when he was 21 years old. Scottie Pippen got drafted when he was 22. So these youngins, very young, we don't know. I just said the potential. Love you, Drip.
First off, thank you for the prayers, brother. Prayers to you and a speedy recovery and health, and to your mom and all that. Thank you for sharing that. I'm doing okay. The fam's doing all right. The memorial and funerals on Tuesday, so y'all look out and pray for me on that one. But we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Now, to get into the basketball spot of it, Noah and Modest being the next Jordan Pippen is crazy. Now, I'm not ready to crown that until I see we got to win 50 games with them both being at the center of that before I'd be willing to say that. But I do think that you do have the backbone and the players that you look at and say, all right, I can see how these guys could fit together going forward. You need them to develop, you need them to turn into that. And if they do, great. And I think then you're off to the races there. But let's pump the brakes a little bit and just take a wait and see approach, big bro. Like chill a little bit on that corn. You can't be saying that type of stuff early because then we start getting excited about it. Then if it don't happen, it's like it is what it is. Listen, I'm fine with Noah and Modest turning into Luau and Taj. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like if that ends up being what they turn into, I'm not saying that that's where I hope they're capped out at, but if that's into what they turn into, cool. I'm not mad at that, right? So I think at this point that we just need the picks that we take to develop into actual NBA caliber players, right? And us not be looking at it 3 and 4 years in, no offense, Dalen Terry, and still wondering what the hell are you, right? So that's the thing that I'm more focused on, but Jordan and Pippen is crazy, bro. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Josh.
What up, Hayes, Chicago Bulls Central? This is Josh out in Arizona. I'm calling right after I heard about those trade rumors for Coby to the Dallas Mavs for Derek Lively and Ayo to the Lakers for, I don't know, fucking Dalton Connect. Main reaction to these trades is no, I wouldn't like either of them if they happen. Although getting a player like Derek Lively in the Chicago Bulls building is definitely a plus. But I don't really feel we should give up Coby for that. Seems like too much of a loss. Also, I would like to ask though, for people who think that AK will not be able to keep both Ayo, Coby, and Giddey, and saying it as if it's like already true that he wouldn't pay them. I don't know. Doesn't it seem a little bit out of character for AK? If anything, he usually waits a little bit too long to trade on players, but when he does got a group of guys that you see he actually likes, he won't move off of them. He doesn't move. I mean, that was DeMar, Levine, and Lonzo for 3 seasons while Lonzo was hurt. He didn't move off of DeMar or Levine when he got first round pick offers for them because he believed in what they could do. So with this new youth movement, I feel like it would be out of character for AK to trade Ayo or Coby at least before the season starts. I think it would definitely be out of character because for me, at least for a player like Ayo, because he's on a much cheaper deal, and he'll probably get a much cheaper deal in the future. I believe he's not at his highest potential in what we could trade and what we could get for him. I believe for the same thing with Coby, but he might reckon like a lot more money in the future, also being on like his last season before he becomes a unrestricted free agent. So maybe less value for Coby right there, but I don't know, depending on how he goes this.
Coby for Derek Lively is too much in my opinion as well. Like I get it, and Derek Lively is basically the exact type of center that we need, but I think you got to keep in mind part of the reason why we need that type of center so much is because Coby White and Josh Giddey are your backcourt. If you were gonna trade Coby White, you should have drafted Derek Queen. The part of the reason why, in my opinion, the Derek Queen didn't fit this team is that you already had 2 ball-dominant guards to add a ball-dominant center, and nobody really is switchable defensively. None of those 3 players are consistent enough jump shooters or coming off screens and stuff like that to provide better space, and they all provide off dribbling the ball, getting to the paint. Coby can get hot from 3, but he needs to get in rhythm by getting and driving and creating that way. So if you were going to trade Coby, you should have taken Derek Queen, in my personal opinion. So we'll see what happens with that one. I do think that AK has held on to players a little bit too long, but I don't think we can just assume that that's how he's going to keep, because maybe he's learned from that. Maybe. We haven't seen it yet, but I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he zigs where people think he's going to zag at some point going over into the future, and that he overcorrects in that manner. But we shall see what's going to happen there. At the end of the day, I just want this team to make the right moves, the smart moves, and us to start being a winning team. That's the biggest and most important thing to me. All right, let's get into the last voicemail for the day. This one's from CP.
What's going on, hey? So this CP. So I want to preface this by saying I know it's a lot of free agents or restricted free agents that haven't got signed. So this is not solely based on the Bulls or what the Bulls do with Josh Giddey, but I just want to comment on that part. But I just wanted to preface that with I understand that, all the restricted guys haven't been signed yet. Or the top restricted guys haven't been signed yet. But I want to talk about AK's thought process for a minute because it's kind of weird. You trade Caruso for Josh Giddey with no picks involved because he thought that, or in his words, he said that any player that we got in the draft would be worse than Josh Giddey. Well, could be worse than Josh Giddey, which I understand. That's completely fine. I have no problem with that thinking and that thought process. But the problem that I have is that if you do let Josh Giddey walk, it would have been better to at least get picks than to trade him just for a player. Because based on your words, those players might not be as good as Josh Giddey. But if you let him walk, that defeats the whole purpose of trading Caruso for him. That defeated that entire thought process. It's like a brain game that I think AK, and it goes back to what Pat says, it's like a brain game that AK is playing with himself. Like, he says one thing and then turns around and does the other. Same thing that you say. He'll say, oh, we're not going to trade this guy, and then turn around 3 months later and trade him. Like, I don't like that brain game as a fan of it and as someone that actually likes watching and likes the players on the team. I don't like that brain game too much. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I just wanted to get that out and just explain that. It's really weird. I don't like it. I don't like watching it. I don't like how it's playing out. And I'm just being honest. I don't know if they've been having discussions. Like I said, I know it's been other teams that haven't signed their restricted guys, but that's just weird to me. But all right, that's all I had to say. Peace.
If the Bulls let Josh Giddey walk, then you are 100% correct. Getting the draft pick would have been the better option there. Regardless if you felt like the players were better or not, you would have had those players under a cost-controlled rookie scale contract if you were to take that rather than just take Josh Giddey. Part of what you're taking Josh Giddey back over picks because you view Josh Giddey as better than anybody you would have gotten with that pick, that mid pick you would have gotten from the Thunder. Okay, cool. But then to let that guy walk away for nothing, that's doubling down on idiocracy. You don't want to do that. What are we doing here? So, I don't think the Bulls are going to let Josh Giddey walk. I don't think that is something to say or to worry about. I think that they're going to do. They're actually negotiating. But I think when it's all said and done, Josh Giddey is going to be in a Bulls uniform, and he should be in a Bulls uniform, in my opinion. But that's my time for today, guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullsCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See you red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.